It's been a big week for cheating. Wolfe Glick, the biggest cheater in Pokemon, got cheated against at the PogChamps 6 chess tournament by Dr. Lupo. But then that opens up the discussion of, well, if it's wrong that Dr. Lupo is cheating to steal prize money, then why isn't it wrong that Wolfe cheats to steal prize money in Pokemon? And then we also have Pokeaim. He entered his first regionals in 8 years and then got top 8, but I caught him cheating. Because, oh, he has illegal Pokemon from known cheater I'm a Blissey. And then the Pokemon community can't cope. So let's break down the derangement. If you enjoy the video, and if you're actually a good person, leave a like, share, and comment your thoughts down below. So having more time to practice, rather than breed and catch your own Pokemon, is just a smart use of time. What's the big deal? So that's like how impossible the cope has gotten. Just the unbelievable stupidity that's like, oh yeah, well, cheating is just a smart use of time. And then when like you try to explain it to them, you try to break it down to these losers, they just don't get it. Okay, but like that time save is gained by cheating. Using steroids isn't a smart use of time in sports to get better training efficiency. And right here we can prove this person has low IQ because they're incapable of abstraction. Using steroids would be the equivalent of having more IVZVs. No, that's not the argument here. The argument is they are both rule-breaking advantages. So that's the same thing. Like, you get disqualified or banned for using steroids. You get disqualified or banned for using hacked Pokemon. That's the exact equivalence. And then people just try to deflect that when it's like, oh, wait. Oh, I got. And then the cognitive dissonance kicks in. Or maybe they're just too stupid to understand anything that's going on. And then this is the result. So that is cheating, not this, even though the rules say that any modification, you can hack in a Pokemon with quote-unquote possible stats, it's 100% illegal. There is no such thing as legal hacks. There's no such thing as a legal gen Pokemon. The rules make it very clear. No modification of a Pokemon whatsoever. Wow, no hacking in a video game. Hacking in a video game is cheating. Whoa, what a new concept to the Pokemon community. Actually, they don't even comprehend that concept. And it also shows multiple levels of stupidity because, wait a second, so you are admitting that using your time well is going to allow you to perform better. So having more time and resources than the opponent is a competitive advantage. And if you gain those advantages by breaking the rules, then that's the literal definition of cheating. And it seems you're the only person that thinks so too. And that's the thing, people will say that these are my rules, that hacking in a game is cheating. Even though it's the rules of Pokemon, it's the straight up TOS. So just like mind-blowing, and you think like, okay, there's no way that like over 90% of the Pokemon community is this stupid or this evil. It actually is. And then like these comments keep on surfacing, especially with a story like about Pokeaim and with Wolfe Glick. It's like, oh, wow, it's actually like even more than I thought. So that's just like how Pokemon is. There's always more cheating and evil and toxicity in Pokemon than you think or can imagine, and it will keep on coming. Then there's responses that are just downright impossible to me as a good, honest person that has never lied in their professional career. That I cannot comprehend being this willfully stupid and toxic. That 2016 was Generation 7. VGC 2016 was Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and this is how people try to justify, well, oh, the Raichu isn't hacked because Wolfe hyper-trained it. So we had hyper-trained Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Pokemon at Worlds 2016, therefore Verlisify is wrong. And then, like, when you have that pointed out to you, use brain cells, please. Like, it's not even honestly like, oh, this guy's clearly trolling. No, these are real people in the Pokemon community thinking they're in the right because Verlisify Derangement is that bad. And most of the Pokemon community's stupidity is on this level. Now, I'm not saying most of them believe that 2016 was Generation 7, but it's way too many, and then the rest are just like, oh, there's nothing wrong with cheating, or anything like that. Then we got more bad actors with their toxic positivity trying to pump up the Pokemon community or glaze Wolfe for their own gains. And it's also just like wild how everyone's in on it. Like, okay, Wolfe's a cheater. How is Wolfe Glick so good at chess already? Well, it kind of helps that he was the highest rated player at the event. So the praise for Wolfe doesn't make any sense. Okay, cool, Wolfe is so good at chess because he's losing to 900 rated players coming in as like the highest rated player for the event. And then even in Pokemon, like, oh, he's the best cheater in Pokemon then if everyone's allowed to cheat. And he's not even the best at Pokemon because we just look at Michael Kelch, who got second at Worlds and then top 4 back to back. while Wolfe just keeps bombing out and can't even get top cut, or is lucky if he can make it to day 2. Also, Joseph Ugart has much better consistency with top placements than Wolfe, even though he's a cheater as well. So that's just Pokemon, but you drop the facts about him being a cheater, and that makes people upset. So, like, this is the proof. This is showing the data mine of his team. You cannot get out of it. It has happened twice with Wolfe. There's also the Impossible Dream Ball. There's also shiny legendary Pokemon with hidden power and perfect stats in Generation 5. Then his whole Generation 6 team, and who knows what else. Also, like, admitting to timer stalling, which was explicitly against the rules back at the time, which is why shiny Pokemon gave an advantage, because they actually have the second of animation time, which really adds up when you only got a couple minutes to play the game. So yeah, even suppose the Pokemon he brought were generated, and it's always that, like, even if he cheated, or it's like these idiots that think they're trying to use, like, higher language. Oh, if I say we're supposing something, that's what intellectuals on the television say, so we can just kind of pretend we have intellect. So that's another crazy thing I see all the time. Well, it wouldn't matter even if Wolfe cheated. Well, if it doesn't matter, then why can't you admit the fact that Wolfe cheated? Why can't you just be like, okay, Wolfe cheated, but it doesn't matter? Well, then that's the cognitive dissonance kicking in. So yeah, even suppose the Pokemon he brought was generated, remove the 3 teams he supposedly he's still a world champion. Except no, that's actually his world championship team, and he says the Raichu is a big reason why he won. But the reason why he won is because no one else was brave enough to hack such an obviously cheated Raichu. They don't want to get disqualified from Worlds. Wolfe was already getting propped up by the Pokemon Company, so he was allowed to get away with it. The most consistent player in the world now, even though he can't top cut Worlds or make it to day 2, and the second most ever behind Ray Rizzo, who's also a confirmed cheater that brought the Dream Ball Aegislash to Nationals, while also having the same hack teams as Wolfe in Generation 5. The most ever international championship wins, most regional wins ever. Cool. There's a reason why Lance Armstrong was stripped of all of his titles. It's because cheating gives you such an insurmountable advantage that it proves you have no skill, or that your skill cannot be extracted from that, so you lose everything. Barry Bonds isn't in the Hall of Fame despite having the most impossible on-base percentage of all time. That we can't go, okay, let's just say that the steroids made him 20% better, or he would have still hit most of those. Well, that would still make him Hall of Fame level, but because he cheated, that's stripped away from him. So yeah, you can't unwind that. He has the largest competitive Pokemon-based YouTube channel. Views don't mean that he's actually good or anything. Like, as we can see, with people like Dr. Lupo, the more of a fraud and bad actor you are, the bigger you're going to grow, okay? A large reason for the scene's sudden growth, except the scene actually hasn't grown, even suddenly, and it's the smallest it's been since, like, 2018. Actually, like, 2019 before Pokemon Sword and Shield. The only player with a win at every level. Okay, he's a cheater. Like, that's what I mean. Like, okay, it's one of those things where, like, okay, suppose the Pokemon he brought were generated. Remove the 3 teams he gen, he's still the world champion. Wrong. And then it's like, okay, he was won at every level. Well, if you remove the cheating, he actually hasn't. And he's done it longer than just about everyone in the scene. Well, it's actually really easy when you just save all the time and energy from cheating, and you gain tens of thousands of hours of advantage by also using Pokemon that are humanly impossible to obtain. Actually, we'll use his own language, statistically impossible to obtain, because that's what people get upset at me for, when it's just like, oh, you can't say they're impossible, it's still possible even with trillions of odds. It's like, okay, so you're the kind of person that believes Dream didn't cheat, and then we saw how that went. Dr. Lupo cheating in chess is wrong, but it's different for Wolfe. Cheating in Pokemon isn't wrong, even though you're stealing more prize money and more fame. And then, like, with this right here, we have his person in his video saying statistically impossible Pokemon on the hacks because of the IVs and then the height, weight, scale values and stuff. Well, when Kurt says that, people say, nah, Wolfe could have still gotten it. That's not proof. Even though Wolfe uses that in a video to show a Pokemon is hacked. So yeah, it's like, oh, he's done it longer than anyone else. It's really just that energy. That, yeah, after making a Pokemon, like 1,000 different competitive Pokemon, you're going to be more tired from that than anything else. And then he just has, like, this impossible advantage. Generally just the most innovative, not even close to my movesets or theory. Creative and successful player, not even close. All he's done is cheat. He never cheats Generation 5, he never gets the traction, he never cheats 2016, he never gets the fame. So that's what I mean, like, cheating and then lying about it to steal prize money and opportunity from others is evil, especially on this scale where, like, it translates to tens of thousands of dollars in prizes directly, but millions of dollars in fame and fortune in the long run, because, oh yeah, having the title of best Pokemon player, even though he doesn't. He has not been Pokemon World Champion in almost a decade now. A lot of top players are currently better than Wolfe because they have consistent placements. Wolfe didn't even make it to top cut for the recent regionals in Milwaukee. A regional event. So yeah, like, the delusion as well that these people have, where like, Wolfe's the best, like, well, he's a cheater, well, he's the best, but every other metric says wrong. Same thing with like the scene sudden growth. So I break that down. By cheating, he proves he has no skill. He also hasn't grown the scene at all. And then this dude has actually done the most annoying thing I've ever seen, where instead of like replying to himself, he made 3 replies separately to my tweet. And then that giga split up the thread. Tournament turnout is record low since the Global Challenge had 10k entrants for a VGC event when Sword and Shield had over 40k. And like, here's the thing. If anyone in the Pokemon community was honest for a moment in their life, we would not even be remotely near this, because like, how can someone be so stupid that they deny this fact that I'm presenting? Oh, well, Wolfe's the best and he's growing the scene. These people are so worthless that their entire identity is a parasocial relationship with a cheater. It's kind of insane. And even then, the argument for the Global Challenge being 10k, like, there's nothing that breaks this, because the Global Challenge is more important than ever, since you need those championship points for Worlds, since the cutoff isn't a number, it's a placement. You have to be 75th or better in championship points. So if you don't enter Global Challenge, you don't do well, you actually just don't get to go to Worlds. It's more important, and yet less people are entering than Pokemon Sword and Shield, where it really didn't matter. The Global Challenges are variable based on how many events happen throughout the season. No. The fewer events, the more join. No, there's still a best finish limit. When you have tens of thousands of people entering, and there's only, you know, like top 1,000 or even like top 500 getting competitive championship point payout, you still gotta enter all those. It's actually impossible that, oh yeah, everyone just enters the same amount, like they're 3, and then they call it good. No, you have to keep on entering. We just had largest in-person event in history. I like how just had, when it's like, well, actually, no, that international is now well removed from the discussion. And then it's like 1,200 competitors out of 26 million units sold. And guess who top cut and won the entire thing? A cheater. That doesn't matter. So yeah, global challenges are more important than ever. Like, I explain all this stuff, and then, oh, no reply on that one. As for viewership, see, like, so they have to, like, desperately grab their own nonsense statistics where it's like, hey, this is easy to disprove. According to ES charts, the only events that have surpassed this year's EUIC and peak viewership has been the World Championships, along with overinflated online events. So the things that prove me right, where it's like, oh yeah, Pokemon Sword and Shield was just so much better. Well, actually, wait, no, man, those were just overinflated. Doesn't matter. I don't want to even comment on the no skill thing when Worlds and talk. And this is something I've never ever seen ever. It's like, oh yeah, beat Barry Bonds in a home run contest, and now you're qualified to talk about cheating. Get in the ring with someone who's known to be on steroids, beat them without steroids, and then your argument's valid. No, cheating is wrong. Cheating is established. You're not good until you beat the person using wall hacks and FPS, and then we have the complete debunking. We're like, guys, this is also in one of my other videos that really shows, like, Wolfe has brought nothing to the competitive Pokemon scene. That, like, sure, millions of views translates to nothing for Pokemon. Congratulations. We have Wolfe fans, we don't have VGC fans, and then it turns out people just don't want to play with cheating. Cheating has made the competitive Pokemon scene smaller than ever, even though it has more attention than ever. That means something's wrong with the current system. You gotta ban all the cheaters, you gotta clean up the scene, or else competitive Pokemon is just gonna be nothing. We have regional finals now with 2 of the top players. Bro, this is World's top 4. This is the guy. And then we have Eric Rios, also a confirmed cheater, but 31,000 views for Pokemon finals. That's where we're at right now. Wolfe Glick EUIC is 600,000 views, so we have an international level event getting 600k only because Wolfe Glick is there. Also, I'm really confused. Where have all the VGC matches on the Pokemon YouTube channel gone? Because we have EUIC, and then nothing, and then we have LAIC. So, like, all the regional stuff has been scrubbed, which doesn't make sense. They also did that with all the live ones that, okay, we got Milwaukee, we got Atlanta, and then it's Worlds 2023. Either way, the point being made is that interest in competitive Pokemon is as low as it's ever been because, oh, yeah, 2017, we had 150k people, 56. That was like the lowest. The lowest is what we see as the highest right now, and then a random regionals actually getting more than Wolfe Glick winning EUIC. So yeah, that's debunked. And then by cheating in completely tournament legal Pokemon, even though we've already been over this, it's not legal to have a hack. You can't legally hack a game. So I break that down. I hadn't been aware of that rule, I will admit. But Wolfe has said in the past he never collects his own Pokemon. Well, then that still makes it cheating, as we see with the original post, where it's like, well, his team is data mined, it's cheated. It's been cheated his entire career for over a decade. Also, that proves his chat and network can't get a legal Pokemon for him, and it's so bad, he actually has to commission hackers to now check his teams. I can imagine where the Pokemon collected legitimately, it wouldn't have taken much longer. Except despite being the largest competitive Pokemon channel, he can't get them legitimately, even though it wouldn't take much longer. If it wouldn't take much longer, then why can't the world champ do it? It doesn't matter what anyone says to you, I'm realizing. You're so lost in your fantasy land where you're better than everyone at everything. So I just, like, completely debunked this dude in every possible way, and like, everything he said. He's on, like, 4 strikes. That you just ignore everything that goes against your beliefs. Literally nothing has been presented. No evidence has been presented that changes anything I've said. I'm objectively better than cheaters. Exactly. They are ineligible competitors that do not exist for competitive discussion. Cheating in sports gets you barred. And yet this is something that the Pokemon community just cannot accept. And there was also, like, another weird split in the replies somewhere. And then this is another common thing, because, like, oh, as time goes on, it gets harder and harder to deny the fact that Wolfe is a cheater. Like, there's more and more proof. So now we've gone to this stage of denial. If he had truly cheated multiple times, you would think that officials had caught it. If it had ever mattered, the officials would catch it. Well, I mean, we saw 2023, so if it gets caught, yeah, you get disqualified, but also Barry Bonds got to cheat for over half a decade. Lance Armstrong got 7 titles and a wristband before, aw, damn, he's a cheater. Not everyone's a cheater, except every top player has been shown to be a cheater. Not everyone is out to get you. As this dude just, like, tracks me down in a random thread where I'm just stating facts. When you stop profiting off fear-mongering, we can continue the debate. See, like, you lose, and then you just refuse to continue the debate. Like, what do you mean, fear-mongering? This is the fact that Wolfe is a cheater, that cheating is wrong, that all of this has been proven. I debunk you on everything, even the viewership statistics of Pokemon VGC, and then it's like, oh, well, we'll continue this later. So once again, the cognitive dissonance and the behavior is impossible for me to comprehend as a good, honest person. We're just like, instead of admitting they're wrong. Because, like, that's another crazy thing. Verlisify can never admit he's wrong, as none of my haters and everyone commenting against me can never admit that they are wrong. So, like, the hypocrisy, all this nonsense, who knows? And then also going back to, like, well, Wolfe has a network. Well, Pokeaim is one of the largest competitive channels as well. And turns out, oh yeah, you actually can't get legal Pokemon in a Smogon-based or a Showdown-based audience, because they're all cheaters as well. So no one in Pokemon can be honest for a moment in their lives. Not Michael, not Wolfe, not Tyranitar, not Scrafty, not Hayden, not Pokeaim, no one. Or else it all comes crumbling down. I've been saying this for over a decade. So there we go. More Verlisify Derangement. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.